Morning everyone, so today we're at a Skoda Octavia. I think this is it's a TDI model and it's a 2008. A 1.9 BXE engine. Now we've been here before with this engine, notorious for the bottom end going in it if it's not serviced properly. So, but this is not a problem with this one because you would probably hear a knock, but we're getting no knock off of this car, so good. But anyway, we've got another problem, and you can see it is a 00564 turbo / supercharger overboost condition. So the guy who owns the car just recently got it, so we're not aware of the history. But what usually happens if it's been lying a while or whatever, there'll be carbon build up. Is that right, Roddy? Carbon build up within the turbo vanes, because this will be a variable vane turbo, so there'll not be a wastegate on it as such like the old turbochargers. So the vanes will be sticky and they'll be in the open position, which causing this overboost. Now it's probably better to be in an overboost position because at least the thing goes rather than if they were shut. So we'll probably need to get this one back in next week and clean out the turbo, but it's trying to get access because I think it's buried down the back. So we'll come back to it, but if any's have ever done this job, how to get access, chime in the chat. You can help us out, but we've got a few products here that can clean the turbo, but it's getting access is a problem. Cheers. This car's came back in. Now we looked at it last week and there was codes for turbo overboost. So you can see there's nothing in the engine management at the moment. Let's maybe logged it. Codes only. No, must have cleared it. So as soon as you took it a short run, the engine management light came on and it went into limp home mode. So let's see what data we've got here. What we suspect, when we drove the car, we were getting really good turbo boost. So definitely the turbo was working. So it was definitely, well, we assume it was overboosting because it'll look at the atmospheric pressure within the intake manifold, so it doesn't like that. It's too high, it says. So what I think happens here is, I'm sure turbo regulation, i.e. control of the turbo actuator, is controlled from this block here. Maybe totally wrong, but it's pneumatic, i.e. I'm sure it's controlled by vacuum. So I already had a quick look underneath and you can see that, sorry about that, hay fever. You can see that the pipe work's still installed and you can see the rod. So what we can do is start it up and see if the rod has got free movement. So when we shut the car back off, the rod should go in, and when we start the car, the rod should pull out or whatever. So we'll try that test, Roddy. I'll be able to see it down here. But when we're actuating it, when Roddy starts the car and actuates the turbo, it is moving to fully open, but it's not going up, it's not fully closing. And it's a hard shot to get this. So it was a really difficult shot underneath, but hopefully you could see, can't remember if we started or no, the actual turbo rod is moving, so it's actuating to be fully open. But what we're worried about is it's moving, it is closing, but we don't think it's closed enough. Although maybe it's just the slightest movement, we're not sure. So what we've done here, because this is vacuum controlled and it's controlled by this vacuum block, we've teed into the control circuit. So I think you can see that bottom port there, that controls the vacuum to the turbo actuator. So I've just teed in to the circuit and put my vacuum gauge. So I'll get ready to start the car and you can see we know this is working, but we're going to take it a road test to see if it lays off the vacuum. There you go, that's good. So let's take it a road test. Take it a road test, and when we're getting full turbo actuation, the vacuum should drop on that, and that would prove that the control side is good, that it has the ability to shut off the vacuum to the turbo. Because if it doesn't do that and it's overboosting, you're blaming this chappy here. Now, I'm sure back in the day this used to be called, the bit for the turbo was the N75, but I'm not sure what they call this now. This does the EGR valve, it does the turbo, and it does other things as well. See, I don't know, it comes round to the front here. Bits and pieces. Anyway, let's take it. You can see we've got it on the windscreen. And of course, so we're still reading 20 inches of mercury. I'll show you going up the road. This should shut off. So you can see that the vacuum is working perfectly going to that turbo. So for that one test, I think we can say it's something mechanical within the turbo. It would be sticking. So unless we work the rod back and forward to see if we can free it off. We'll try. Specified air pressure hits one 2040, but we're actually getting 2500. So the graph is overboosting. But you see that charge air pressure duty cycle? Now we agree with that because you see how it's dropping. It is shutting the turbo off down to 15%, and we agree with that with a little thing here in the car. So when it drops the percentage, you see her needle goes lower, the vacuum goes lower. Oh, bumpy road that. So we are overboosting. I see, it's only what, 2000. Oh, we're getting 2.5. The other thing I was thinking about with this was maybe, okay, sometimes they can modify them, eh? You never know. You never know. But it didn't seem like a lot of movement in the road, eh? See when we're in top gear and giving it the acceleration, it's behaving itself. It's what is specified to its actual is spot on. So we're going to drop it here down to second gear, and then we'll look at the pressures here. So here we go. No, it's behaving itself, and then we'll give it the gun. So 2000 is max it looks for. No, it's starting to behave itself. So I wonder if using a screwdriver in there to free off the rod. So maybe get a old bit spritzel with WD-40 or whatever like that. I don't know. But then again, we were getting high even when we started our test run. But funnily enough, the lights never came back on.
Try second gear again.
Try second. It's getting high for a moment. For a moment. So better, aye.
It's already full.
So I've set the scaling on the Veris between 900 and 2050, because you see this one only ever gets up to 2040. So we'll see the peaks disappearing as we try a second gear pull again. So there you go, the peak just disappeared there. So that's alright, that's alright. Third. See, we did go. We're still overboosting a wee bit, but I don't think it's as bad as what it was. Another thing is we're not sure how much tolerance that the thing allows, but there's still no lights on. See, that sheet of rod with this stuff, D-block oil excess. Now this gets good reviews, this stuff. So we're already going to do that. So I mean, we just had it overboosting maybe on the scan tool by 100 millibar. So what's that about? Maybe 1 psi, no sure. But anyway, we'll see how that. But the engine light has never came back on. So this is us going into this vacuum block here. You'll hear it when this is released. Hear it? So there you go. That controls all your pneumatic actuators. So we'll just take this one back off, where we put our pressure tester on it, and give it a run after that. See if we can get the actuator removed nicely. So I decided to go into component test, and you can see that the snap-on has some information on it. So let's go into turbo boost control. So control solenoid valve. So a large rectangular component with vacuum lines attached, and it has a 6-pin connector. That's that thing at the top there. So the ECM operates a solenoid using pulse width modulation. It's fitted to the engine compartment bulkhead solenoid block near the vehicle battery. So that's it there. And that gives you access to the connector is difficult. Remove the vehicle battery. Well, we didn't need to do that. So there you go. Let's see what other DC voltage test. Well, we never needed to do that because we know it's working. So that'll be if you back pin into that to see the control solenoid. So, and then what else has it got here? This will be an intake manifold. Component information. It's fitted in the induction pipe facing the radiator. So that measures pressure. But you can actually check that out quite easily to see if it's working, because key on, engine off, it should measure atmospheric pressure, and it did, because we were at 1090. In fact, Roddy, would you pop the key on, my friend?
Right.
Oh. Current charge air pressure. There you go, it says 969. So that's the same as the atmospheric pressure here today. So quite a cloudy day, so you would reckon it would be under 1000 millibars, so that means that's okay. But it said it was near the radiator or something like that. Don't know where it is, but to me that's working fine. And then that's the thing that controls the turbo actuation there. And it said it had a 6-pin connector. I think it goes in that side there. There, it's here. Anyway, we'll lubricate this up and see how it goes.
You want to start it?
Aye, please, lad.
Right, you get now we got to get the picture.
Aye. I let go.